All right. What are we even doing here? Will the Atlanta Falcons draft any University of Georgia football players coming up?
I'm not giving you the answer now.
You're not giving me the answer now. What are you waiting on?
Well, let's talk about all 7 picks. They got 7 picks in the two. They got round 1, 2, and 3.
Mm-hmm.
2 in the 4th and 2 in the 7th. So no 5th and 6th rounds.
No 5th, 6th, yeah.
So probably I would trade a 5th and a 6th for 1 4th. You know that.
Yeah.
It really gets watered down there towards the end, but
kind of needed. They looked at maybe trading up a little while ago. Wasn't there rumors they were going to trade it for another first rounder?
I mean, I would argue that there's rumors for every team until the draft.
Yeah, until it happens. Yeah.
That's kind of what they play on.
Draft day for sure. All right, so.
All right, first round.
First round, their pick what? 8? They pick 8?
Number 8.
All right. Is Jalen Carter going to be on the board at 8? I don't think so, personally.
I don't think so either.
I mean, if GMs are smart, Carter's not going to be on the board at 8. Let's say Carter is on the board at 8. I'm grabbing him. Are you?
I'm just trying to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm grabbing him.
All right. So let's say
Can't miss talent in the draft.
let's say Carter's not on the board at 8. We're looking at what? Broderick Jones, Nolan Smith, Darnell Washington, Big O, and Keely Ringo's there too. If Carter's not on the board at 8, are you going with Broderick, Nolan, or Darnell?
At number 8 for Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons need defense, and until they get a defense and field it worth watching.
The Falcons need everything. The Falcons need a fan base, first off. And you know how you start with a fan base in the state of Georgia? Is you draft Georgia players. I'm a big advocate of that. I'm a big proponent of that. And I'm still upset about Atlanta not drafting guys in the past when they've had it, Todd Gurley, namely, not picking him up. I think that you sell enough tickets and T-shirts when you get guys like that, hometown favorites. I think that you draw fans in. I would have watched more Falcon games if Todd Gurley would have been on the team. I don't want to watch an 8-8 team. I just don't care. I've got the University of Georgia Bulldogs. That's my football team. I'm a Saturday guy, I'm not a Sunday guy, right?
Right.
So yeah, I mean, if you want my attention, if you want,
Yeah.
you better be picking up some Bulldogs. And it's not like Georgia doesn't have boys going to the draft. We've been throwing them out.
No. And it's not even so much your homerism that's a. Georgia is the top program right now.
Sure.
That's
exactly.
where you go shop for top players.
Exactly. So, all right, Falcons first round pick. Let's just say Carter's off the board. You got Jones, Smith, Washington. You say you're looking for defense. Are you going to pick up Smith at 8?
Well, you know me personally, so if Darnell Washington's sitting there,
hey, I'm with you,
sir,
man.
I would say I will gladly go to the podium and announce that for him.
I don't care what you need. Nah, I'm with you. I don't care what you need. I'm getting Big O.
But Nolan Smith is still a win, and Nolan's one of those players that affects the team.
Oh, he's absolutely a leader, a captain, a vocal guy, positive energy, good energy.
His college stats doesn't necessarily scream top 10 pick in the NFL draft, but his combine
screams top 10.
It does. He's the fastest edge guy.
His combine screams. That dude's a freak. I mean,
and an incredible character, high character guy.
Yeah.
I personally, I know this isn't what we're talking about here today, but hey, if it don't pan out in the NFL for Nolan, come on back to Athens and coach.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Sure.
that's my guy. Right there.
Even if it does pan out in the NFL,
Right.
come on back to Athens and coach. When
Yeah,
you're
give
done,
Kirby a
you
little
know.
bit more time there.
No, I'm with you. I love Nolan's character, his leadership.
That's what you drafted him on.
Well, and if you don't believe us, go back and look at the Oregon game with Georgia last year. Georgia's beating the stew out of them, right? Most players, they could be waving at their mom in the stands, doing whatever on the sidelines. Nolan Smith is right there next to Kirby, doing hand signals, getting guys lined up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're up 40-something points, 43 points this time. Nolan is 100% clued into the game, talking to guys, hand signals, getting guys lined up, encouraging people. He cares about what's going on. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, yeah.
He cares about the team.
That's right.
And not everybody does,
I would argue most people don't.
Yes, I would argue that too. They would say, listen, I did my work Monday to Friday. I've done my job today.
He's
my
an
job's over.
Automatic
No one's
addition
working
to the
overtime.
culture.
100%, I agree.
Automatic.
And Big O is just a monster. Look, I'm taking first round. I would take, if I'm the Falcons, I would take Broderick. I would take Nolan. I would take Big O.
All at 8?
Yeah. Well, I don't know what Atlanta needs as far as their offensive line goes. Broderick Jones would be a good addition. If they don't have a need at offensive line, I'm with you. They probably need a little bit more on defense. Obviously, Nolan or Darnell would make more sense. But a guy like Darnell, are you kidding me? I mean, he's plug and play at any level of football. I mean, he is a monster. He is a freaking monster. He didn't have the best college numbers. It's just because Georgia didn't throw him the football,
Yeah.
Darnell can catch just as good as anybody, We just didn't throw him the football, which is shame on us, man. I mean, matter of fact, shame on us for not giving Darnell more.
I think if he doesn't go top 10 in this draft, it is shame on University of Georgia.
Yeah.
Because he is a top 10 talent.
Right. No, I mean, top 5. I mean, he's awesome. He's awesome. He's a freak. All right, so moving on, second round. We don't know the pick number. Let's just say second
I think
round.
it's 44th.
Okay, so let's say second round. Carter's off the board. Jones is off the board. Smith's off the board. Washington's off the board. Let's say Ringo is on the board at 44th. You buying them? You selling them? What are you doing? You taking Keeley?
It's not a question, because obviously we're talking what's best for Atlanta.
Right.
Right? So it's not a question of is Keeley worth being taken at 44th. It's a question of does he fit that pick at that,
well, all right. Well, let's say
franchise.
this. You got Keeley and Chris Smith on the board. Okay. Keeley's projected, 33rd-ish. Chris Smith's like 100th as far as pick. Keeley is a top 30, 40 talent, but I don't know if he's a corner. Which, how do you move a guy who's played corner in college and now you're going to draft him and move him to safety?
Well, you pay him, and that's what the benefit of NFL is.
Sure, yeah. Keeley's got all the things that you want in a corner. I mean, he's a big dude, fast dude. Keeley was not a lockdown coverage corner guy. Keeley got picked on, especially underneath. However, anytime they tried to go up top on Keeley,
he was there.
He came down with the football. So, what's Atlanta doing scheme-wise? I don't know enough about it, but Keeley or Chris Smith? Atlanta's going to take them in the second round if they're on the board?
I'm leaving them both.
I don't think Atlanta would take either one of them.
Well, they picked up a cornerback this offseason.
Right.
Okay.
But I would personally take Chris Smith over Keeley Ringo. Chris Smith is better, I think, than what his stock is. I think Chris Smith got kind of underrated a lot. And I think a lot of it has to do with, he had to play ball till his senior year. He's not the biggest size-wise. But Chris Smith can absolutely play ball. I mean, Some guys have a knack for finding the football. And if you watch Chris Smith's career, you know, he has a knack for finding the football. That play against LSU, the smart play with the missed field goal that he picked up off the ground, took back to the house. You know, that was Chris Smith that did that.
And you only get that touchdown if he's on the field.
Exactly. I mean,
I think anybody else.
You got to have a high IQ football.
Just looking
player.
at the ref, like, why did you call the blowing whistle?
Yeah, everybody's just kicking the ball. They don't realize a field goal is the exact same thing as a punt as far as the returnability, the way the balls are played. A field goal is the exact same thing as a punt.
I'm with you. I think he does fit Atlanta a little better, especially after Atlanta picking up a cornerback.
Well, Chris Smith's another one of those leaders. He's another one of those, like, even as a rookie, he's a veteran, right? You know, I mean, he's another one of those guys that can come in and kind of corral the horses, so to speak.
Well, he's definitely learned to come up from, I mean, for lack of better terms, the mud on the roster.
Right.
So you know if somebody can do that.
He had to work for every minute.
That's right. He's got respect from the locker room. Mm-hmm. So he knows how to gain that respect.
Yeah.
And once again, that's a multi-factor like Nolan. You know, instant culture, boom, shot factor.
So let's go on. So you're not taking Chris or Keeley.
The second round.
Yeah. All right. Third round. You know the pick number offhand?
I do know. I just remember seeing that 44 next to the second round, but I know.
Third round. Let's say Smith's on the board. Are you picking him up?
You know who I want in the third off of Georgia's team? In the third?
Saquon Bennett?
No, it's not.
Kenny Mack, maybe? I don't know.
I want Warren McClendon. I think he might be there. Mm-hmm. Warren McClendon's
projected to go 221. He's way down the list.
I think he's there, but I also think they're sleeping on him. That is a 3 or 4 year starter for Georgia. I mean, that dude walked in and locked down one side of that line right after Andrew Thomas.
Warren McClendon can absolutely play ball. I'm going off with what kind of the projections are, sort of with rounds. Let's say third round, you've got the option of Chris Smith, Stetson Bennett, Kenny Mack. Okay, are you taking any of those guys as Atlanta third round? I would take any and every one of them. I will take any and every one of them.
I think Stetson will be there in the fourth, and you got 2 in the fourth.
Stetson's projected at 136. I don't know what they're looking at numbers-wise with the 440. I think you're
not a bad
borderline.
pick.
All right, so let's go to the fourth. The Falcons have a fourth-round pick, right? In the fourth round, if Stetson's on the board, if Kenny's on the board, Robert Bill Jr., your boy Warren McClendon, Warren Erickson at center, Tyke Smith at safety. Are you taking any of these boys? Are you taking Stetson? Are you taking Kenny? Are you taking Bill?
So
you like McClendon? Are you taking McClendon over Stetson? Say both of them are on the board.
I like all those names other than Tyke Smith, because Tyke Smith's playing for University of Georgia this year. So.
Oh, okay. I don't know why he's.
I like all those names at 4, man. I mean, you got some production right there on those list of names.
You absolutely do. Robert Bill, I mean, he lit up the combine too, if you remember.
He did number 3 fastest edge player.
I mean, he lit up the combine too. Look, I'm a believer in Stetson. I love Kenny McIntosh, especially in the pro game. He's that running back who can give you whatever you want out of the backfield in the passing game. Mm-hmm. You know, he can pass block and he catches as good as any receiver in the draft. He catches as good as any receiver in the draft. Kenny Mack at 142, I mean, honestly, you know, in my mind, Kenny Mack is, I'm getting him in the second round, you know. Like
I'm thinking, all right, give me him in the third, and I'll pick up Stetson in one of the fourths.
In the fourth, there you go.
We got 2 fourth.
All right, so
2 4 rounds. Let's talk about what 2.
Oh, we got 2 in the fourth.
Yeah.
I mean, Yeah, I'm with you. I do Stetson and Robert Bill, right? I mean, Bill didn't get on the field at Georgia because, you know, he's a 4.5 star playing behind a bunch of 5 stars. I mean,
give me Stetson right?
mm-hmm.
Okay, I want Stetson. If he's there in the 4th round, and you don't even know if you got a franchise quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
I think Stetson's the best backup quarterback that we've seen in the NFL draft in a long time. Now, I know that sounds very weird. Who cares about the backup QB?
Backup QBs get paid a lot of money now.
But if you don't have a for sure starter, backup QB is somebody on the team.
Well, look at San Francisco last year. I mean, they were down to their 3rd string. You know, making a deep playoff run. I know Stetson isn't looked at as a starter, but listen, if you can win 2 national championships, you know, play at the level he played in the SEC, that will translate into the NFL. That will translate.
I'd hate to be the defensive coordinator that's got to play against him.
I mean,
I'll tell you that.
That will translate in the NFL. So Stetson and I'm taking Kenny if he's on the board. If not,
I'm going to say I pick up Kenny in the 3rd if I'm just drafting Georgia players. Give me Stetson and Warren McClendon in the 4th.
I like that. So we don't have, which rounds are we missing?
We're missing 5th and 6th. Atlanta does not have, right now, they don't have picks. So 2 in the 7th. That's where we're at.
And then 2 in the 7th. So kind of looking, Warren Erickson. Harris Jackson, or it's not showing our kicker.
Podlesny.
Yeah, Jack Podlesny. Are you taking Jack Podlesny in the 7th? If Atlanta needs a kicker, does Atlanta need a kicker? I have no idea.
You know what I'm hoping, which I doubt I'm going to get. I'm hoping Beal drops all the way to 7th.
Well, and it's a possibility. I mean, it's an absolute possibility that he's a 7th round.
But I'm taking Jack Podlesny over Kyrus Jackson and Warren Erickson. I just don't see those 2 players ever making it on the field in an NFL game.
Mm-hmm.
Kyrus Jackson, big fan of him. Big fan.
I mean, Kyrus Jackson, maybe he'd be a return specialist maybe in the NFL. I don't know.
He wasn't our return specialist at UGA, you know? Like,
yeah, but, you know, UGA...
I know. Just throwing that out there.
Sometimes guys aren't, right? You know, that's, I don't know, it just kind of is what it is.
But 7th, if Chris Smith somehow falls to 7th, I'm taking him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, any of the guys we've already talked about, if they're in the 7th round, absolutely.
Maybe Kyrus Jackson in the 7th. I got 2 picks, right, as an Atlanta Falcon. So maybe Kyrus Jackson and...
William Poole. Is he there?
That's an interesting one, and I forgot about him because he didn't play this year. Still leaning Kyrus, you know, because he did play this year mainly, I think. I mean, you know, I William Poole we haven't seen since. I mean, I think he actually kind of left the Georgia program during the season early, like week 2 or 3. So maybe we did see him one game, but hey, I'm not drafting players that couldn't start on college teams.
Well, that's probably why he left the team, right? He felt like he was a starting talent. Yeah, and those kinds of guys, it's really, really hard to, you know.
And
it's hard to say.
And looking at Atlanta's roster, they have one of the better kickers in the game right now. So I'm not taking Pod, you know?
Yeah. Well, Pod is a draftable kicker. You know, he killed his stock in the Ohio State game. I mean, he absolutely killed his stock.
Well, really his last year, this past year, he missed some field goals, man.
I mean, no, I would say more than average. I think the Ohio State game was the
To draft a kicker, you need one that's like 79 out of 80. You know, like to draft it. Otherwise, you're bringing him on as undrafted.
It's harder to make it in a kicker in the NFL than as a quarterback. I mean, that's the truth. 7th, Georgia might not have anybody there in the 7th. You know, I don't know. Maybe Stetson gets another public intoxication charge. I don't know. I'd pick him up. No, Stetson, I think he's pretty squared away.
I think Stetson's going to go higher than people are thinking. I mean, I really think people are going to see the film on him, and he proves that he can do it in the film.
Well, to sum it up, short answer, how many, if any, Georgia players is Atlanta going to draft this year?
I think one, and I only say it because we got 4 picks between second, third, and fourth round. And that's where a lot of the most of them, we got like 3 sure first rounders, I think.
One is
the rest are right there.
Historically speaking, one would be optimistic. Historically speaking, it's ridiculous how few players get drafted out of Georgia by Atlanta. Guys who are just, in my opinion, proven football players, proven warriors. I would like to see 4. I'm hoping for 4. I want to see 4 dogs go to Atlanta. Give me a reason to watch the Dirty Birds. You know what I mean?
No,
give me a reason to tune in on Sunday, you know. Instead, I don't know what the heck I've been doing on Sundays. I've been watching NFL football, I can tell you that, you know. So give me a reason. Give me 4, Atlanta. You won't regret them. You won't regret them either. That's all for today. We'll see y'all next time.